Being a man is hard. There's a lot of unspoken pressures, build expectations, and heavy responsibility. And when you mix that with everything going on in the world, there's a whole lot of days when it's difficult to carry. This, along with many other reasons, has caused us to lose too many of our brothers as a result of them falling into mental instability, spiritual darkness, and taking their own lives. On Monday, 24-year-old Marshawn Kneeland scored the first touchdown of his NFL career. Then on Wednesday night, 48 hours later, Marshawn tragically took his own life. We don't know much as this is just taking place, but here's what we do know based on initial reports. At 10:33 on Wednesday night, police tried to pull Marshawn over. Marshawn refused to stop, which led to a high-speed chase. He actually managed to evade the cops. They lost sight of his car and called off the chase. After he evaded the police, they called around and eventually got his girl on the phone. She had been desperately trying to get through to Marshawn, but she reached a point where she knew things were very, very dire. She told the police that Marshawn had a history of mental illness, was armed, and would, quote, end it all. He even sent a group text out to his loved ones, essentially just saying goodbye. Hours later, they found the car abandoned on the road. It had signs of being in a recent crash. Marshawn had fled the scene on foot, but eventually, air support scanning the surrounding area found a heat signature inside a porta potty. They were pretty sure that's where Marshawn was. I'm gonna play you the clip of the police dispatcher describing a couple of things. The call with the girlfriend, giving a warning to his colleagues, the air support team leading him to the porta potty, and they're very cautious with the language, so it's not overly graphic, but it's still really sad to listen to, especially the end when the police are actually approaching the porta potty.
We're talking to the girlfriend. She's trying to call his agent, but we're trying to get him to call her to call him first, but she's saying he is armed and has a history of mental illness, and her quote was, "He will end it all."
Good copy. You probably ran back to the car to get the gun.
If she calls him, we'll let you know.
Good copy. Alright, y'all do me a favor. Everybody stay with the buddy. Don't go looking alone. This guy is armed.
They just received a text from him, a group text from him saying goodbye. They're concerned for his welfare. They do not have a key to the apartment.
We have a lieutenant calling in from Plano advising that the NFL is calling Plano PD and the subject is texting his family goodbye.
EPS 111, there's a porta potty on the south side of that building.
40, we got eyes on it. That's pretty much right exactly where 118 drew the circle. Y'all see a heat from that?
Yeah, 111, we got good eyes on. Looks like the door's open. Red liquid coming out from it.
At 1:31 a.m., Marshawn was found, and it appeared that he had taken his own life. Now, of course, we don't know exactly what Marshawn Kneeland was dealing with, but it is noteworthy to point out that last February, he lost his mom as he was preparing for the draft. So sadly, she never got to see him drafted, never got to see him perform in the league. Last year, he actually spoke about it in an interview, and I'm gonna read y'all a couple of his quotes, alright? It was definitely tough. I just managed it. She helped me a lot in my younger years getting into football. I always had the dream. I always told her, I'm going to the NFL. And I made it. It's a hard situation just knowing she got to see me potentially going to the NFL and going through the process. She's still with me. I got this urn of her ashes I carry with me everywhere. I still feel like she's there watching over me. I can't help but wonder if his NFL success felt a bit bittersweet to not get to share in that joy with his mom, for her to pass right before he made it. That's gotta be a difficult thing to manage. Rest in peace to Marshawn Kneeland. Now, before I end this video, I want to talk to y'all. There's things you're gonna go through in this life that'll weigh heavy on your heart. Some might have you feeling perpetually down. If you've ever been in that state of mind, brother, listen, we want you here with us. With so much going on, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get swept up in the rat race. It's even easier to get disconnected from this one foundational fact that God has a purpose for you on this earth. I know it can be tough, but you gotta keep fighting. You're valuable, dog. You was made in his image. And that's no matter what you've done or what you're dealing with in your head or dealing with in your heart. there is redemption through Christ, and that's real. Man, I thought about this stuff a lot as of late, as I've dealt with my own struggles and have spoken to other guys in their times of need as well. It occurred to me that most men don't have a place to turn when they're confused, lost, or just generally having a rough time with this thing called life. I'm an introvert. I got a wolf tattoo because I view myself like a lone wolf. But even us lone wolves need a part-time pack that we can mix in with from time to time. I just feel like dudes need a community to discuss this stuff, man, relate to each other, get advice and give advice as well. And giving advice is dope because there's gonna be some areas where you're better suited or you're more experienced, and then you get to see a part of your value as well. 3 or 4 years ago, I would have fought you on this, honestly, just because it's uncomfortable for me. So that's coming from an introvert who still to this day prefers to try to deal with his problems alone. But I'd be lying to myself and lying to you if I pretended that I don't see the value in some kind of fellowship. And I don't mean just hanging out and watching the game. I mean, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. That fellowship is cool too, but I'm talking about where you can actually discuss real topics, introduce a real issue, and get real advice. And I'm just putting this out there, but I think it'll be a good idea that we build some small communities around ourselves, whether that's online or whether it's locally, but a small community to support and disciple each other. Because as much as we pretend like we got it all together, the truth of the matter is it's hard out here. So if you're a man who in a pretty good space in his life, maybe think about starting up a little Bible study or some type of group where you can build up a little camaraderie, some with a little support system just built into it. Maybe we can help each other and cut down on these issues, because who knows what that kid was actually dealing with. And look, you won't be able to help every person. Just pick 1 or 2 and start with them. Now here's the thing, and this is something that I've been seeing. As you try to help other people, you need to grow yourself and have somebody that can hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who can keep you on point. So maybe even team up with somebody who's more experienced, and then everybody can grow through that process. Something like this is gonna take some work. It ain't gonna be easy. Nothing good is ever easy. But maybe through just having this type of thought process, we can prevent a couple of these situations before they ever get to this level. That's just a thought. Just trying to end on something hopeful and action oriented to keep things moving. Man, rest in peace to Marshawn Kneeland. Y'all have a good weekend, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.